Hey folks, I'm Troy and you're watching TroyTube. Today in our series of videos on WordPress, we're going to install a theme and make a couple more customizations to the basic setup of the website. Now we're going to do this with a pretty basic theme. It's going to be what I call a clean theme. It's going to be simple, straightforward, not a lot of bells and whistles. And you have to remember, anytime you're learning a new skill, crafting, photography, painting, whatever it is, there's a technique involved and you have to start basic. So we're going to start with something very simple. We're going to create some basic pages and build a menu structure on our system using those pages in this video tutorial. And like I said, we're going to start very basic, probably just copy paste some text to create some content and maybe insert a picture or two in the media section and use them in the pages. But then we're going to build that menu structure across the top and move some things around and get you used to the basics of editing, installing a theme and editing the theme. You're going to see a lot of themes out there. They're going to look beautiful, very fancy, different layouts and things. Start simple first and learn how to manipulate and how to modify and how to make things look the way you want them, and then start tackling some of the more complicated things as far as the appearance of your site. So we'll switch over to the computer and get started. Okay, we are already logged into our WordPress administration control panel. I'm also logged into my cPanel at my host just in case I need to do anything behind the scenes here, but I think everything we'll do today in this video will be right here in the WordPress administration control panel. Now, I did forget to mention one thing at the top of the video that we're going to do, and that is to install a plugin called a classic editor. Personally, I do not like the new editor that's built into WordPress, so we're going to install the classic editor, and it makes things a little easier, and it's actually one of the most installed plugins out there. So I think there's a lot of people who do not care for the new editor when you're creating posts and pages. It's just a personal preference, so we'll go do that before we install our theme. We're going to go down to the plugins area and go to add new. And you can see right here at the top, the classic editor is right at the top. If you do not see it, you can search on it. Just type classic editor in the search box over here and it will come right to the top, and you can see it has over 5 million installations. And so we're going to click on install now and activate after it installs, and it will take you to the plugins page, and there are settings for it that if you want to set some particular settings, that will take you, when you click on that, it actually takes you to the writing section under the settings here. So it's not plugin specific settings, it's settings for your overall WordPress. If we go back to the plugins, this Hello Dolly plugin is one that I do not use, so I usually delete it. But I do leave the Akismet anti-spam plugin, and we'll configure that a little bit later on. We can use a free API key, or you can pay for a service too. I usually just set up and use the free API key. For now, we have the classic editor installed, and now we're going to go install a theme. So if we go to appearance and themes, it's a similar process. We can search the installed themes if we had many to install. As you can see, there are a few set up by default in WordPress, but we're going to click add new. And over here on the right, we're going to type in clean blogging. And this will bring up a very simple theme. Again, we're going to do something very easy, basic to start out with, and then later on we'll put in some of the other themes that look a little more professional, a little bit more to them. For right now, we need to learn the basics. So we're going to click on install, and after it's installed, we will click activate. And now if I go up here to visit site, now I'm going to hold my control key so it opens a new tab when I click on that. And you'll see that it took away that that mint looking page, and you see the SSL code that I posted in the previous video, as well as the hello world post that is there by default. And you notice the footer widgets that were in the previous one have moved over here to the right column, and up here is a sample page link, which is actually part of the menu. We just don't have enough pages yet. So we'll go back over here to the WordPress administration control panel. Now the themes that we're not using, we can get rid of them if we want, and I usually recommend that if you're absolutely not going to use them, that you do get rid of them, because as they release updates, it will kind of nag you to do updates, and my opinion is if you're not using it and you don't need it, it probably shouldn't be there. So we're going to click on it and delete that theme. And maybe we'll leave the 2021 or 2020 theme. I kind of like it a little bit. And we'll leave the 2021 since this is just the current theme that came with this version of WordPress. But if you install a bunch of different themes looking at different layouts and experimentation, you probably want to get rid of ones you're not going to use and ones that you rule out, just so that they're not hanging around asking for updates all the time. So now that we have activated that theme, we can either go to customize here, or over here on the left we can click on customize, and this is where we can make certain edits to the appearance of our page. So site identity, and here you can see the just another WordPress site is the tagline. We'll put WordPress tutorials and learning, and we can publish that. And then if I come over here and refresh, you'll see it's not showing anywhere on the page here, but if I look in my title bar, it does put that tagline up here in the browser. So we can come back here and we can change our theme colors if we'd like. So currently it's setting for links, the text color, the background color, this little shadow bar, things of that nature. We can add a background image if we wanted. So if we had a small tiled image, that is what's called a seamless image, where you can tile it and you can't tell where it stops and begins, then it would put it all over the background. I tend to avoid those, but depending on the layout and the theme of the website and how you want it to appear. Our menu systems, which we can choose where our menus appear and what they look like. We can also modify our widgets from here. Our basic homepage settings, which is the same thing as going to general and settings, and then additional CSS. This is where we can make changes to the appearance using CSS, and we'll get into that a little bit later on in another video as well. So there we have installed a new theme, and it did, like I said, it did change the layout a little bit. And so what we're going to do now is create a couple of pages, and we're going to build a menu system here. So we're going to go back over to our dashboard, and we're going to come down 2 pages, and we can do a couple of things here. We can create a new page or look at our list of existing pages. So I'll go to all pages, and we have the sample page. We also have a privacy policy, and I'm going to get rid of this sample page, and we're going to click new, add new, and we're going to make home. And we'll put some text in here and say this is our home page. Visit us often for more WordPress learning and tutorials. And we can either save this as a draft or we can publish it. So I'm just going to go ahead and publish this page. And if you'll remember, down in our settings, we can specify what is going to be our home page as a standard static setting, and we'll do that in just a moment. But right now we're going to make a couple more pages. We're going to create a page called blog, and we're going to actually leave this page entirely blank, and we're going to publish it. We'll create a new page called contact us, and we'll create a new page called video tutorials. And we'll leave that page. We'll put something here. Just so that we have some content on the page. Now if we go back to all pages, you'll see that we have several pages we have created. We'll edit the privacy page, and we'll publish that. And we'll just leave all this text out here. This is the default content as WordPress created it. Then we're going to go down to settings, and we're going to go to reading. And this is where we're going to specify our home page is going to be home. And we're going to specify that our post page, which is our blog, is going to be our blog page, and we'll save that. Otherwise, if you leave that setting here, whatever you put in your posts are going to show up on your main home page. Now, you may want that for your blog. It just depends on what you want in your website, and so there's some different approaches to that we'll go over with widgets as well. So now if we go to our website and we refresh, you'll see that we have our home page with our content, and we also have those pages that we put up here as the menu system. Now next we're going to modify this menu system a little bit, and we'll go to appearance and menus to do this. And you'll see that it's put our pages on the main menu, and the video tutorials, contact us, and if we wanted, we could put different posts directly on the menu as well. But for now, we're going to make this our home page, and we will rearrange these just by dragging and dropping them. And if you want to make them as submenus, you can do this. Let's say if I want this privacy policy to be a submenu of contact us, then all I do is drag it to the right, and it will kind of dock for you there, as you see. See how it changes that little dotted box around it, and you drop it. And then when we click create menu, and now we're going to come down here and say we want this in our primary location, and we're going to save the menu. And if we go back up here to manage locations, you have different locations that you can where you can put your menu with this particular theme. This theme supports one menu. This will be different for different themes that you use. And if I go back to my website and I hit refresh, you'll see that the new menu is in place, and it is structured the way I designed it. And if I hover, I have a sub menu here now. So there, that is all we're going to do today in this video. Again, we installed a theme, we installed a widget, and then we created some basic content pages. We specified what is going to be our home page as well as our blog page. In fact, if I go to my blog page and click on it, you'll see those posts that are already in the system. And then we rearranged our menus and created a sub-menu up here as well on the main page of the website. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you. If you have any questions or comment, post them down below the video description.